Everyone's been asking us, guys, you still with Full Send? Guys, you still with Full Send? You still with Full Send? Are you guys still with Full Send? We went into the deal knowing we weren't going to be priority number 1, 2, 3, or even 4.
Yeah.
But that still warrants communication. The fact that we got put onto this platform at a time that we did, shout out to the Full Send team. Appreciate you guys giving us the opportunity. But at the same time, another kind of conversation starts to come about between you and I.
Let's get to the big baby though. We present to you MBH TV, baby. I think we have a huge opportunity here in Canada to build an independent media network. We now have a big enough platform to actually push other talent and push other shows through the network. Very similar to what Six Buzz does, No Jumper does, a culture hub, a news hub.
We're like, shit, what if we brought like a Patrick Bet-David to Toronto and did a live podcast with him in front of 1,000 people, 1,500 people, 2,000 people? Welcome back to the MBH podcast. Money buys happiness. Okay. If you're joining us for the first time, what's up? Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Like the video. Leave a comment. If you're returning, we love you. I love you. We love them, no?
We love you so much.
Listen, boys, before we get into the episode, follow us on Snapchat, okay? We are flying right now on Snapchat. We're dropping exclusive content there. Nothing you can find on our socials, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, nothing. It's all exclusive content there. We're testing out some cool shit, so follow us there.
And we just hit 100K.
Yeah.
Woo!
We'll put a little like fake clap in the background. Join the Discord. We'll have the link in the description. We're gonna be firing off there again. We took a little break on it, but we're coming back. And then something I'm super excited about is we got merch coming soon. And when I say coming soon, I'm talking like maybe like a week and a half.
You tell me.
I know it's actually up to me. So I'm just like trying to figure it out. But listen, we got merch coming soon. Some really, really cool shit. I know you guys have been busting our fucking balls for merch, and I want to give you merch. Okay, so it's coming soon.
We're gonna fire it up.
We're gonna fire it up, guys. Listen, you obviously clicked into this episode because you see the title. There's an elephant in the room. There's an elephant in the YouTube room, in the Money Buys Happiness universe that we need to address. Okay,
It's an elefante. It's an elefante.
We need to address it. Everyone's been asking us, guys, you still with Full Send? Guys, you still with Full Send? You still with Full Send? Are you guys still with Full Send? We're actually getting emails that are literally people being like, hey, are you still with Full Send? Like just that, which is pretty funny. I thought that was good. So we want to address that. Some time's gone by. We're finally in this time period where we're allowed to speak about it. So yeah, let's address it. Do you want to get her going? Want me to get her going?
I mean, yeah, you can get it going.
Okay, cool. Listen,
we can start it up.
So yeah, no, we are no longer with Full Send, to answer the question that everyone's been wanting to know. And we kind of want to give you guys just a little bit of an idea of, how we got to this point, what our last year looked like. I know that it was weird. We signed this deal, and other than people seeing like, hey, we're signed with Full Send, no one really understood like what it actually was, what that even meant, and what went into it, and how we got to the place that we're at now. So everyone knows the story about how we got signed.
They know it. They know
Kyle
the story.
came on, the whole thing. We got signed.
So we got signed last year.
Yeah.
July 11th to
Yes.
be exact.
There you go.
So we're just over a year right now.
Yep.
That's when the show began.
Yeah.
Good times.
And what a show it was.
And what a show it was.
This last year has been a literal fucking just a whirlwind for I think everybody.
Crazy ride for sure.
Yeah, we all just sort of
Hold on. Before we keep going.
Yeah.
We got two gentlemen with us right now. Guys, hold
holy
on.
Fuck.
The point of this episode is to go back in time, tell you guys about the last 12 months, catch you guys up on that, just because we haven't done a host episode, I think, in a few months.
It's been a while, yeah.
And we're also going to go into our plans for the future, what we have planned for MBH, all the fun stuff. So we thought it would only be right if we had the boys with us. So welcome on the boys. Who do we got with us?
What's going on, guys? I'm Jay Zinho. For those that don't know, I handle a lot of the behind the scenes for MBH.
Yeah?
Production, editing, managing, whatever you want, I got it.
Really, eh? Anything?
Anything.
Jack of all trades.
How long you been with us?
Since July 2021. So about 2 years.
2 years now.
Yep.
And how did you start working with us?
Cold DM to your LinkedIn.
Crazy.
You heard that.
That one's crazy.
You heard that.
That one still fucks
It's a
me up.
LinkedIn thing.
That one
Yo,
still
hold on.
fucks
Gary
me
Vee
up.
just put a new video up saying LinkedIn is back.
Oh my
I don't even know
God.
where it went.
Don't even-
Anyways,
don't even
cold
do that.
DM people on LinkedIn. It does work. This is living proof right here. All right. Who else we got here though?
I mean, unless this is your first fucking episode, you already know who I am. I'm Dean. I've been on a few of the episodes before, the host episodes and stuff. I do the camera work, some of the recording, stuff like that, you know. I've been here since episode 1, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's been quite the journey over the last few years, and it's been sweet.
It's actually quite impressive because you are part-time with Balenciaga as their photographer
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well,
yeah. I
right?
still do the Balenciaga shoots. Only the ones
Right?
in Europe. You don't see them in North
Like this
America.
guy grinds. I mean, he's got like side hustles with Balenciaga and shit. I like listen. I won't get into it, but you guys know the shoot they did a couple months back. Dean produced and directed that whole
Yeah,
shoot.
yeah, yeah,
Thank you for being with us today, Deanie.
No problem. I was happy to assist you on that creative direction for the shoot.
But guys, I just wanted to let you all know that's how we are. We want to showcase the team. We want to showcase the people behind the scenes because these are the people that make shit happen for us. They're the only reason we're able to push as much content as we do and stay consistent for you guys. So let's track back a little bit.
Yeah.
Full send deal. July 11th, we sign.
So we signed the deal.
Yep.
We fly out to LA to go meet everybody. We go to their spa in Orange County. It was really cool, just like really sick warehouse style space. And we had a really, honestly, I'd say a warm welcome.
Yeah, they were very welcome.
I think everybody but maybe Steiny said what up to us, which was cool. Everyone was really nice.
Yeah.
You know, just was like, I guess it was kind of easy because we're all Canadians.
True.
And we're all from like the general area in Toronto. So like, it was just like super easy. We're cut from the same cloth essentially. So
also super inspiring for us.
Well,
to
yeah,
like,
yeah,
To like
of
go into
course.
that headquarters and be like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is what you can build from content,
Mm-hmm.
from a show or you know, from an audience, which was insane.
So that was a cool experience for us. We sat down, we did our first 2 like episodes back to back on the same day. We did John and then we did Salim, which was cool. I remember doing the John one and like their whole team, like 20 plus people sat like as an audience. And we'd never done that before.
Yeah.
Like we've had people in and out of our studio when we record, but like sat there, whatever, we shoot that. It was really cool. And yeah, I guess I just want to like say that it was an exciting moment for us because we were just like, holy shit, like we're here, you know? And it was funny because we thought that, obviously being inexperienced in the space, we thought that, okay, like once this announcement goes live, bro, we're famous. We're like, dude, we're gonna be fucking Drake, dude. Like it was crazy. Like that was the feeling. That was the kind of conversations we were having. Like with complete transparency, we were like, when they announced they signed us or they sign us, like this is gonna be. It's like overnight.
Yep, 0 to 100.
0 to 100. Like I think at the time, maybe I'm like speak for myself. I was at like, I don't know, 12,000 followers on Instagram or something. I'm going to be at like 100 by tomorrow,
Yep.
like 100K. This is going to be crazy. And it was not that at all by any means. You know, we did have a boost, don't get me wrong. But it was not what we expected in that realm, which is, it's nor good nor bad. It just was something that we didn't know. We had no experience. So that was just our idea. But so to keep the story going from there, the first 2 months were like solid. We were posting weekly as we always do. You know, we went from episodes getting on average maybe 5K to all of a sudden 300K, 275, 350, 150, 100. Like, you know, every episode we were putting out was getting over 100K. Now, that was awesome and that was really cool to see. And I think we obviously just loved it because these were numbers that we weren't used to seeing, right? So all of this excitement, all of this growth was really cool. Everything was running up. But I want to say behind the scenes or more internally with our crew, as much as we were super excited about it, we were kind of in a weird situation because, you know, the idea from, I guess, Kyle's end and Full Send, like their team's end was, hey, listen, the fastest way to get numbers up is like, we're going to basically have you guys interview like the Full Send team.
Yep.
Which was cool in a way because it's like a lot of those people never had an opportunity to tell their story. And obviously the Full Send audience wants to know like, oh, what's Osgod's story? What's Gabe's story, right? So, you know, again, these episodes were doing great numbers, but we were kind of in the back end being like, okay, this is great, but also like we don't want to be known as like the Nelk 2 podcast, like the Nelk Junior podcast, right?
Yeah, we were getting a lot of that.
We were getting a lot of that, and I think.
But I mean, like for any like person who didn't know us, they would just assume that's what it was.
Well, 100%. But I think then what even like them signing us, that would have gave that impression. But then second to that was like the fact that our first 6 to 8 episodes with them were majority just internal Nelk team episodes.
Yeah.
It was putting us in a weird place.
Yeah.
Because of course we were happy to do it and we're loving the numbers, but at the same time, we've never been like numbers guys. And maybe in this YouTube world, that's a stupid way to be. I don't know, but for us, that was just never the way we looked at it. Like we were cool with the slow growth because if we said we were going to do this forever, then listen, if we gained fucking 50 views from episode to episode, we were okay with that. As long as it was creating content and interviewing people and having conversations that we liked to have.
Yes.
So that kind of put us in a weird place.
Yeah. Well, I think we were used to building a community that was genuine.
Yeah.
You know, like that a community that was actually following us, for our messaging, for our values. Whereas when you start doing these big guests, you don't really build that much of a loyal audience because they're just tuning in for that one guest and they might never see you again. You know,
Yeah.
so we were kind of feeling that too.
Yeah, 100%. And we were seeing it and it was happening. So,
and guys, just as like some context too, before we keep going here, like you have to remember this is the first time we were dealing with an experience like this being signed to any sort of, you know, group or anything like that. And this was also the first time Full Send was signing someone as a podcast, as a show, not so much a talent.
Which is why there was a lot of confusion with the public because with the initial announcement, there wasn't too much transparency to it as to what was really going on, more so than the photo that released, right? Like, oh, this is Money Buys Happiness, not so how the deal works, who are these guys, what's going on.
Yep.
that was something that I think we even tried to have like some sort of pod episode with Kyle or whatever, where like we kind of broke down like, hey, this is like who we are, you know, and where he could be on it and also give his thoughts on why they signed us and what the plans were, but we never really got that. And so I think that's why, there was a ton of confusion. And then all of a sudden, the only episodes we're putting out are behind the scenes Nelk people. So it's like, okay, this is just like a Nelk 2.0 and a Full Send 2.0 podcast, right? Which is, again, put us in a weird place. But nonetheless, obviously, we were grateful regardless. And so we just kept the show going. And yeah, like I mentioned, the first 2 months were great. You know, we were growing all of this stuff and, you know, we were doing good. And then I'd say around maybe November, December.
Yeah.
Things started to, I don't want to say take a turn for the worse,
No,
but
I would say just things start to change
yeah, things started to change.
from what we were used to at the beginning.
Yeah, things started to change. And when, you know, to give context on things started to change, you know, communication just faltered. It became hard to get answers from basically the Full Send team, you know, whether that was merch or sponsors or, you know, whatever, guests and things like that. It just became hard. Like we just couldn't really get responses, and, you know, we're persistent guys. So like, you know, especially me, I don't give a fuck. I'm the most annoying guy when it comes to this shit. So I will literally fucking message you 20 times in a day. Like, I don't care. If I want an answer, I'm going to try and get it, right? And so we were just kept being persistent. And, you know, you don't want to feel like you're a burden when you're with your like business partner essentially, but we were kind of getting that feeling, couldn't get responses, couldn't really get much. And, you know, the aura of this partnership started to feel like things were changing a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm on our end, we're not really emotional business people, right? So we're not going to look at it and be like, oh, like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Why aren't we getting communication? We're just more like, okay, we need answers, sort of thing.
Yeah, it was listen, I got to say it was 0% emotional, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It was just like, okay, like again, from a straight business perspective, we were like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like if there's something that you guys aren't happy with or whatever, like, or you just got to be transparent with us and we'll try to fix it on our end if there's something happening or whatever,
Yeah.
right? So that's the way we were approaching it, but we were just confused. We couldn't get answers really.
And we had a feeling like, listen, at the end of the day, we understand how much they have going on. They have Happy Dad, they have
course.
They have all this stuff going on, Full Send Pod. And we know how busy those guys are too. So when we started feeling that, that was also a thought where it's like, okay, well, maybe they have a bunch of priorities and we're just not one right now, which is, again, it's just a business decision. It's nothing.
But even to that, like, I think we went into the deal knowing we weren't going to be priority number 1, 2, 3, or even 4.
Yeah.
But at the same time, even being priority 5 or 6 or 10, we still, that still warrants communication.
Yes.
Regardless, right? Because it's a decision you made to sign us, right? So, and then again, if it got to a point where you didn't want to do the work with us anymore, like be our partner, then it's just like transparency would have made things a lot clearer, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, with that being said, we move into the new year. Obviously, just in our minds, kind of now at this point, let's say moving into January, we're kind of like, okay, well, regardless, communication, no communication. Again, the way we've always been with anything we've done is the show goes on. The show must go on, and you don't sit and wait for anybody else to help you keep the show going, keep the engine and the motor moving. So January comes along, and I think this is the first time we start to really have, communicate, like internal communication with ourselves and the team, saying, okay, this two things. A, it doesn't look like this partnership is going to continue going beyond our first year. And B, if that's the case, then what's our next move?
Yeah.
So
at that point, I think we were just trying to finish the year strong with them.
Yeah.
And another thing was, we were always trying to go above and beyond with the partnership for the pod.
Yeah.
For Full Send, for Happy Dad, always trying to go above and beyond. So that's how we wanted to continue it, right? We wanted to end it strong. We had a good feeling, like you said, that it wasn't going to continue. Let's finish this thing strong. Let's keep booking guests. At that point, I think that we're just getting all the guests that we eventually had. So we continue. We just say, okay, listen, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep traveling, keep recording guests, keep doing content.
No, we didn't let it. We didn't let the feeling that we were having with no communication and everything. We didn't let that sort of fuck our shit up. We were just like, okay, cool. We're gonna just keep this show going. It didn't discourage us in any way. We were like, all right, again, we're gonna keep the show going. Any money that's coming in from a sponsor or whatever, we're gonna take that and still travel and still try to get these big guests on our own accord. Now we have to kind of find our own way to try and get these big guests, and that's what we did. But at the same time, another kind of conversation starts to come about between you and I. It's a conversation of starting our own network, which is something that, rewind. We had our first conversation in front of this office in about 2020, prime pandemic, outside smoking a fucking doob, and I was just like, yo, Ernesto, man, I think that a network in Canada would be huge. There's no one doing it, like a Barstool of Canada, there's no one that's going to do it in Canada. There's no one that has the capability to do it, and I think we could be those guys. So that was 2020. It was a very quick conversation, and whatever. So 3 years later now, when we're having these feelings, we're like, fuck, maybe this is a sign that we have to do this. We have to bring this back. So we started having that conversation, but obviously it's still lingering. We're still just trying to grow the show. So, we move into February, March, April. We're still doing our thing, still going. Again, communication is basically zero. It's almost non-existent.
It is non-existent
with their team. The only one guy who's just sending wires for any money that's owed and whatever. But again, the show goes on. We're still trying to get big guests, doing all that stuff. And essentially, fast forward, we pretty much hit our 1 year mark, roughly June, July, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Or actually, the deal was 50 episodes for the first year. So we hit that. We're coming up to the 50 episodes. We're probably on 48. And we reach out. Hey, we're about to hit that mark. Whatever, we hit the mark. Long story short, I guess we pretty much,
we send them a letter.
Yeah.
Let them know that the deal is done.
Yeah.
And that was the end.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
Right? That's pretty much how it ended. Not much communication. But again, I think it was also mutual at that point, where even if there was communication, I don't think we would have wanted to renew. And I think on their end, I think it was just too much to handle at that point with everything else going on.
Yeah.
Where it was very obvious they didn't want to renew anymore.
Yeah. On our side, I think we probably both parties came to that conclusion within that first 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, this is just too much for us to handle with everything we're doing. And for us, we're like, hey, we respect that. And at the same time, but if we have a partner, like a business partner, like you got to be involved to some extent. Like it can't just be at a zero, right? And like a little bit of money or whatever is not enough. Like that's not for me, not a partnership, right? So yeah, essentially call it a mutual agreement if that's what you want to call it, and we break it off. And yeah, I mean, listen, like it's like you said, you know, their first time taking on a project like this. So I think that there was a learning curve for both sides, us and them. But I have to say that there was never any bad blood, and until this day, no bad blood. And even when we were 3-4 months into the deal and we had an idea that like, hey, again, communication goes pretty much radio silent. Like even at that point, we still had no bad blood. It was just like, okay, cool, we get it. Like we're businessmen, so we see what you guys are up to. We see what you're doing, and if we're not part of the plans, it's no stress, right? Let's just ride this thing out. Let's finish strong. Let's finish this deal with integrity, and then let's make our move, right?
Yeah. Big shout out to Kyle. Big shout out to John, Sammy.
Yeah.
All the guys at Full Send.
And Drew. Shout out to Drew.
These guys put us on. So appreciate you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. It's platforms like that are growing and they're inspiring people like us to have a platform as well, building an audience for us as well. So we actually want all these other podcasts that are bigger than us to succeed.
Yeah.
If they succeed, we will succeed. So we're rooting for all these guys to keep growing their audience, keep pushing content, because it paves the way for platforms like ours. So shout out to you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, just to bounce off that,
Yeah.
super appreciative. Like again, you have to like, this is the way I see it. A lot of people might see the radio silence and the poor communication very early into the deal as like a disrespect thing. And listen, we're all human, and maybe you have those feelings for a day or two, but ultimately, you know,
You can't be emotional. With
No,
this
you
stuff.
can't. And
this is such high level stuff where nobody's working on emotions. This is all business.
That's what I'm saying. So you come back down to reality and you say, okay, cool. Like you just take it for what it is. And actually you just end up being grateful for the opportunity.
Yep.
Which is, I think, where we got to, where we're just like, hey, we were nobodies. Like to be straight, like we were nobodies. We were getting our best episodes were getting 5K views. You know, we were getting pretty much anybody on that we could. So the fact that we got put onto this platform at a time like that we did, you know, we're appreciative. So yeah, again, just shout out to the Full Send team. Appreciate you guys giving us the opportunity, and yeah, hopefully we see you guys at the top. That's our goal, and that's what we're pushing for.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the deal, and what do you guys think of everything you guys saw from your end? I mean, you guys were with us the whole time.
Well, like you guys mentioned, it was definitely a whirlwind at the start. It was an incredible, grateful opportunity that I think you could take only W's and lessons from. There's no loss here at all. And I think it's important that we give kudos to not only the boys, but the team, because within a situation like this, a lot of other people may get discouraged with how things turned out, and it could definitely take a toll mentally, but to be able to pivot and move forward, I think is very admirable. So it just shows the gratitude and the fortitude of the team that we have here. And it was a great learning experience overall, and it was exciting, and it propelled the brand to new heights.
Yeah, I agree. It was super exciting. Obviously, when you guys told me, I think Anthony told me one night after one of the podcasts or something, it was super exciting because obviously everybody at the table has been watching their videos for a long time. So it was like a crazy situation now to be even tangentially involved with them. But yeah, I can't see, you know, it's a learning experience, right? One way or the other. Both sides made out with some good stuff, some bad stuff, but I think it was a great learning experience. And yeah, shout out to the boys at Nelk.
I think before we move from this, I just think there's one like lesson that I think a lot of people can take from this situation, because again, we're all fucking happy and grateful now, but it would be a lie to say that we didn't have moments of like kind of like confusion or sort of like where maybe emotion sort of took over internally, right? We never went to the internet with it and made it like thing, but like when we lost communication, there was confusion for us because we were looking at it and saying, hey, we're growing. Like this thing's only doing good. So like from a business perspective, not only doing good like numbers wise, but like big sponsors coming in, like good money. And listen, I know that they make fucking tens of millions of dollars. So maybe what I think is good money isn't the same for them. But for a show that was nothing to something very quickly, like the numbers and the money was good. So when we lost the communication, like even from a business perspective, we were like, what the fuck? Like it's going well. Like why? Like if it was going bad, I could understand like the loss of communication or the maybe the feeling of not wanting to push this thing. So, but the point that I want to make is that regardless of whatever their reasoning is, which again, we never really got a clear answer, but whatever it was, we could guess all day. Regardless, what we learned from it was even business partners, network partners, whoever you are in whatever situation you're in, like truthfully, you just got to believe in yourself. Like, doesn't matter if the people that maybe believed in you for a bit lost interest, stopped believing in you. Like, it's actually at the end of the day just down to yourself and the team. Like, if you and your team still believe in the vision, then that's really all that matters, you know. And you can't let other outside, other outside things or people or whatever, change that within you, And there were moments. I don't know about you guys. Like I'll speak for myself. Like there were moments where I was like, "Fuck!" Like if these guys are not communicating and they're not, does that mean they're not believing in the vision? Like
you were tripping.
Well, you have to, right? Like I'm looking at it like this. Again, these are guys I looked up to. Like I looked at what they built, so I'm like, "Fuck!" Like they've built in this game. Like they've built up their name and their audience in this game. So they obviously have a little bit more of vision than we do, experience than we do. So if they don't believe in it, like, is there something there? Like I'm being completely transparent. That's where my head was. But then I just realized like, no, like the fans are still showing up. Our audience is still DMing us saying, thank you. We love you. So I'm like, at the end of the day, maybe one person stops believing in you or one group of people stop believing in you, but there's still thousands or hundreds, or if you're at the beginning, tens of people that believe in you. And that should be enough to say, okay, cool. There's still a market here and there's still people that see what I'm doing and believing in it. Yeah. So we're going to push forward. I don't know. That was my experience. I'm curious to hear from you.
I think for me, and yeah, I felt those moments too. And I think that in those times, I think I would overthink about different things and then you would overthink about different things. For example, like, you would see Full Send do a certain thumbnail or content, right? And then you'd be like, yo, maybe we gotta do something like that.
Sure, yeah.
Right? Obviously, they're our partners and we're looking at it and I'm just like, oh, maybe we gotta stay true to us though. There's that battle.
Yeah,
right?
you're like confused. You're
and
like,
I was like, I get it. But I think after like 3-4 months, I think into the new year, we were kind of like, oh, like we don't have to copy what anyone's doing.
Yeah.
Right? Like we can just do our own thing. If someone likes us, that they like us. If they don't like us, they don't like us, right? But you get that feeling, and I think a lot of people do that. They compare themselves, right? And that's what we were doing, comparing ourselves directly to Full Send podcast, which is like, dude,
you can't, especially for us, not in our position.
Yeah. And a lot of people can't, right? So they start comparing themselves, and that's exactly what we were doing.
Well, and it's funny, there's a certain time frame there that we were in that, like, should we do this? Should we be doing that? And like, you could see,
and you guys could probably tell, like the audience could probably tell too.
You could probably see it in the content, but you could see it in the numbers.
Yes,
like it showed, and that's how crazy it is. Is like when you start to stray off the path of authenticity, especially in this content game. Yeah, bro, the audience feels it, and your numbers will be hurt. Like they will take they will drop, and so we saw that. And that's the thing. It's interesting because this is at the end of the day, it's like, this is like art in a way. It's in the creative field. So you're always wondering, like, should I be doing more of that? Should I try this? Should I be doing more of what they're doing? Like, and you're always questioning yourself, right?
Well, you have to stay true to your identity, like for real.
Well, that's what we realized. That's what we realized.
There's adapting and there's adjusting and there's making things better.
Yeah.
But if you're going to try and just like mimic what other people are doing because they succeeded by doing that, first of all, you're not going to enjoy it that much because you're not doing something you really want. Yeah. And second of all, like you said, the audience sees it. Which I
have to say is how I felt very early on. Yeah, to be honest.
I know.
When we were doing just the Nelk people, like again, grateful for what it was, but I could feel it myself, like in my fucking heart that I was like, this isn't us.
Yeah.
So as much as these numbers are cool and whatever, but again,
and we didn't care about the views either. Like the views are nice when you see 300,000 views.
Yeah, you're like, oh fuck, this is sick.
That's crazy, right? But at the same time, there's also the genuine aspect of us where we never cared about views to begin with.
100%.
Right. So for us to see a video and it's like, we just like podcasting.
Yeah.
Right. Genuinely. Right. So I think something that I learned was that the blow up moment that you're waiting for, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It really doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And this could be applied in any industry, right? Like Dean, for shooting, like there's not one photo shoot that's gonna change your whole life that one day.
Just the Balenciaga
The Balenciaga one, right? Like
no, it's years and months of work.
and I really believed before this agreement that there was blow up moments. And then one moment happens, we get signed, not the blow up moment we thought. We get a few crazy guests in a row. Views do well, but again, not the blow up moment we thought.
But a
right?
lot
So-
of the times you think it is that one build up moment, or that one blow up moment, but it's the build up to that moment.
Of course.
That
Well,
really matters.
It's a
the most.
collection of all of them, right?
Well,
So
it's compounding interest. It's like
Yeah.
it's like you get that big guest, it boosts you a bit, and that's gonna help the next big guest you get a little more views and
Yes.
gain a little more attraction. It's just
for you to actually experience that blow up moment, and it's a real moment, that's like so rare that it's probably never gonna happen. For that to happen, like that one blow
It's
up
one in a
moment that we
million.
see, yeah,
It's
we
one in a
see
million.
people do it online, and it's like, wow, okay, one in literally 100 million,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But for anyone out there, there's really not gonna be that one moment where you go from 0 to 100. It's a collective, right? And I think that that's something we learned over time, and you can see it from our numbers too. It's not like we had a quick blow up at all.
yeah, but
on
even
any platform.
But even now, dude, like and especially if you're in the content game, not even just podcasts, like just if you're in the content game, like, and you're promising to deliver a video a week the way we do, it is almost impossible. I'm not gonna say it is impossible, but it is almost impossible to beat last week's video every single week. Now when you translate that to podcasting, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's impossible.
Yeah.
You just can't beat last week every single week.
There's no one that's done it.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like
it runs out.
you need to realize that, right? So when you're showing up every week, it's like, yeah, listen, you're gonna have shit that hits and shit that doesn't hit, but that's just
Yeah.
the reality of like this game.
Yep.
So, tons of lessons we learned from it, and obviously we're gonna keep it rolling. And if you guys have any more deeper questions about our experience over this time frame and the year and what we learned and things like that, feel free to DM us, DM the MBH account, Money Buys Happiness on IG, DM me or Ernesto personally. We'd be more than happy. DM these boys. They'll also be more than happy to answer questions. But yeah, I guess to put one more stamp and fucking close this chapter, we're just grateful for everything. We're grateful for the opportunity and giving us the platform, because regardless of if we think it was the best thing ever or the worst thing ever or somewhere in between, we learned a lot, we gained a lot, and this platform continues to grow. So thanks, Kyle. Thanks, John, Sammy. I keep saying Drew because that was our fucking main point of contact for a lot of times.
And shout out our MBH Familia.
Yeah.
Do you understand, for rocking with us the last 12 months?
I know that maybe there
random
were,
content, random vlogs.
I was gonna say, I know that there was
fucking
maybe
live streaming, twitching,
was-
everything possible, and you guys stayed with us. You guys supported us online, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. The comments, the sharing, guys.
Yeah.
Without that, guys, we would have really been demoralized, because throughout the last 12 months, the messages you guys are sending us, hey guys, been fucking loving the episodes. Watch that episode, changed my life. Watch that episode, changed the way I look at this. Watch the episode, now I'm in the gym. When we get those messages, man, like that's what keeps us rocking and rolling, And you guys don't even know what happens behind the scenes. Stuff like this partnership, right? Building our team, having our team come out with us all the time, agency on the side. So guys, for real, you guys motivated us to keep going. And that's why we're still here.
And I think, yeah, just to add on to that, like Ernesto mentioned, like we gave you guys a fucking random fucking array of content and guests. And again, maybe we weren't feeling like it was actually who we were at some points. So just thank you for fucking working with us.
Thanks for bearing with us.
For while we fucking tried to figure it out too. So
And keeping it real.
Yeah.
And letting us know
That's true.
this isn't you.
True.
yeah, we got called out. I'm not gonna lie. Like I always go back to this, like the Kazumi episode. Which, listen, I thought it was a good conversation. I still think it was a good conversation. And shout out Kazumi, she's awesome. Like, but our audience was like, majority of people were like, bro, this ain't it. Like, this isn't the content we want. And guess what? We take that and we learn from it, right? So,
Yeah.
if you guys are feeling like that, let us know.
Yeah,
let us know.
and
We
comment,
listen to everything.
Comment right now what content is like your favorite that we do.
Yeah.
Post episodes, guests, live streams, whatever, or stuff you want to see that we haven't done. Just let us know. Drop it in the comment. Let's get to the big baby though.
Yeah.
The big baby, all right?
The big baby's crazy.
The boys have been working their whole lives for this moment. Do you understand?
Yeah, it's gonna be a big one.
We present to you MBH TV, baby.
Yep.
MBH TV.
Yep.
Like Ant said, we were working in the back end, maybe 5-6 months already. I'm trying to make some plays, right? Now, when we have an idea in our head, we start moving on it, right? We don't go 0 to 100, but we start to make calculated choices and make calculated decisions that are gonna get us closer to that goal of launching MBH TV, right?
So like let's give some context to that. January we bring back the idea.
January
from 2020.
Yeah.
We have that first conversation. January 2023, 3 years later, we're like, okay, maybe this is our moment to do this.
Yeah.
Cool. What's our next step? So we go get the branding done. We get the team internally build out some branding. Okay, cool. We're sitting on that now.
And guys, you have to see stuff, right? You have to see it to literally believe
Yeah,
it, right?
it's gotta be
We
visual.
love starting with a logo.
Yeah.
Once we get the logo going, we can already see it. We're like, let's start moving.
Because it makes it real. So we had this cool idea to like go with this like retro, like NBC style, like news station branding. So we put that together. It comes to life. Cool. Now it becomes real because there's a visual. There's something we can look at and say, okay, cool. There's something here.
Yeah.
We can build this. From there, we slowly start locking in the Instagram accounts, and the TikTok accounts, and all those things.
Emails.
Getting the domain. We buy the domain. But this is, I'm saying all these things, but this is over maybe a 3-4 month span.
Yep.
As we know, we're coming up to ending this deal with Full Send. Cool. We need to start building this thing and making it a reality. Then we start bringing in, looking at talent, having conversations. Me and Ernesto are starting to scout people, say, hey, this guy could be cool for this. This girl, she probably could do a show like this. Things like that. But so we're working in the back end, but maybe Ernesto, break down what the plan is for MBH TV, what your idea for it is, and then I'll kind of bounce off of
Yeah,
that.
I think obviously, like you mentioned, like a bar stool in Canada, right? That's like the easiest way to describe it to someone.
Yeah.
I think we have a huge opportunity here in Canada to build an independent media network. I don't think it's happening. And if it is happening, we're not hearing about it. So we can be one of the first to market, which is insane.
Yeah.
Right. So why we want to do a media network is because we have all the resources and the knowledge. We have the social media experience. We have the production experience. And we have the network to find this talent and also put them on a platform and have them grow. We figured since MBH is at a certain level now, we just hit 100K subs. We now have a big enough platform to actually push other talent and push other shows through the network. The plan for MBH TV on Instagram will be very similar to what Six Buzz does, No Jumper does. It's going to be a culture hub, a news hub, where you can find all the latest news happening in entertainment, in media, in politics, whatever it might be. So that's going to be our Instagram page. We're going to go super hard with that. This page will eventually be a funnel to all our other shows.
Yeah. And then I think the cool thing beyond all those, like he mentioned, different talent, different shows. And when we say different shows, we're not talking just podcasts. Like we want live stream talent.
Yep.
We want, we want to do different types of content series. Like I'm sure you guys have seen, on YouTube. I forget what there's a guy, David Alvarezi, and he does those like, one girl dates 5 guys based on their whatever, like not to exactly copy it, but in terms of like just giving you guys different content, not just podcasts, more new style shows, things like that, where it's like you come to MBH TV, you'll find something for you. There will be some sort of content for you, something that you like. And again, male, female, all different types of personalities. So, something we're really excited to do because we've been talking about this forever, and our audience, even just the Money Buys Happiness audience, has been asking for it is live shows, live events, live podcasts, things like that. Now that we have, deep relationships with some of the big guests that we've had on, we're like, shit, what if we brought like a Patrick Bet-David to Toronto and did a live podcast with him in front of 1,000 people, 1,500 people, 2,000 people, things like that, right? So these are all the things you're going to start to see happen. And not just in Toronto. Like I know that we're saying this is a Canadian-based network, but obviously, you know us, we love Florida, we love Miami. Well, we're going to bounce in and out of these different markets as well and doing these live shows and things like that there. So it's going to be crazy. We're really about to go full throttle with this thing. Like Ernesto mentioned, we believe that we don't have any competition in this world right now. We're not right now in competition with Barstool or anything like that. We're trying to pave our own lane and do things a little bit different. And it's funny, I got to say, from January let's go back to January for a second, because I think it's like a very pivotal moment in this conceptualization of this idea. Ernesto and I, we had a lot of conversations. Is this going to work? Is this going to happen? Can we make this happen? Things like that, right? And, you know, we spoke about bringing a potential partner on in terms of like an investment, someone who can help, you know, get us to start this thing ASAP and blow it up and push it to the next level. And it's funny, like, just the conversations Ernesto and I would have is just like, you know, we bounce back and forth. We have these heated, like, internal debates, not fights, but they're just like, he's got an opinion, I got an opinion. We bounce back and forth until we kind of try to find that middle ground of like, who's right, who's wrong. Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, you know what, bro, fuck, you're right, and vice versa. And yeah, we had moments of like, is this even the right play? And is this going to work? And stuff like that. So eventually I got him on board and we're here now.
Yep.
And we're fucking here now.
Got me on board, as you
on board.
usually do, though.
It happens. It always ends up happening to something, but it's good, you know what? And just, even just to further that context is like, if you're in a partnership with 1, 2, 2, 3, 4 people, you kind of have to have a difference of opinions, because if you're always just agreeing, and even if in your mind, like your partner has an idea or whatever, and you're just going to go ahead and say yes every time, it's like you're doing not only yourself, but the whole idea a disservice.
Yeah.
You got to like come back with questions. And even sometimes if you agree with a new idea that your business partner has, like sometimes you got to just play devil's advocate, because you might find...
Oh, you love doing that with me.
Oh, 100%. And so do you,
Sometimes
though.
I'm like, bro, you're really trying to piss me off right now.
Because sometimes you find cracks, right? You find little cracks that you're like, okay, cool, maybe we change this actually. Okay, even if it's not something you believed in the moment, you end up finding things out, right? So you did a lot of that with me, because... And we won't go too deep into like the whole investment side of it and whatever.
Yeah.
But I basically, to launch this idea, I was like, dude, I'm tired of fucking bootstrapping. All we've ever done in our working and business relationship, me and you, over the last 5 years, 6 years, has fucking been bootstrapping, dude. Your favorite saying has been, dude, my boots have so many straps on them, like it's crazy.
My boots are strapped now, boys. That's for sure.
We've taken we've invested personal money over and over and over, and we've always tried to be creative and finding ways to like bring people into the team where we didn't have to spend all this money, and just being super smart, which is, listen, that's been great. You learn so much by doing that, right? But I was finally like, hell nah, bro. We are bringing a fucking investor on. Someone will invest in this idea. Like, we've worked too hard. We've shown people too much to be able to say, let's fucking bootstrap this too, okay? And that, I think that was our biggest point of like butting heads between you and I on this idea. It was less about, will this idea work? We knew it would.
Yes.
But it was more like,
how are we going to make it happen?
How are we going to make it happen? You were like, dude, no, we can find a way. We can do this. We can do that. We can, use, we can leverage this and leverage that. And I was just like going back and forth like, hell no, bro. Like, we are fucking bringing somebody on to fucking cash inject in this fucking, in this new venture. And so we can go from 0 to 100 right away. And it was weird. I have to say, I was actually very, what's the word? I was very surprised in our earlier conversations that you didn't think somebody would come and invest in this idea.
It wasn't even about that.
So what was it about?
It was more about, it wasn't about the idea itself and someone not willing to invest. It was more so like, I was like, okay, why don't we get this going so that in 6 months from now, we can be more stern with a negotiation and be like, hey, it's happening right now. It's not just a dream, or it's not just an idea. But at the same time, a lot of the investors we do know, they know that if we are dreaming of something, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Plus,
so I was kind of in that middle ground of like, okay, but maybe if we start it first and then get it up and running, we'll have more to show for it, and then we can potentially get a higher valuation. Yeah. But then I looked at my boots and they were strapped.
I think there was that. And I think the other aspect of it was, look what we did with MBH. Look what we did with Money Buys Happiness. So we had some, we had a resume. We had a portfolio of what we're able to do with a show, number one. And number two, just me and you as entrepreneurs. I think like even what we built with our agency, like, bro, we got proof that we work hard, and if we put our mind to something, we always make it happen, right? Yeah. And I think there was that aspect of it, and then I think the other part of it was we just set a standard and said we're not taking less than this. Yeah. So if
which we eventually did.
Okay, well, I think. Well, hold on. I think we went for a crazy valuation though.
It's not that crazy. It's not going to be that crazy in a couple months.
Yeah, the initial one was fucking looped. We were looking for like 8 figures.
Yes, that's how many figures.
Which was insane.
Listen, the figures. Listen, we want more figures, more digits.
But nonetheless, we found an amazing partner.
Yes.
Probably the smartest guy that I know, especially business wise. He's already built an insane empire. He's my age. He's 27, so he's built something insane. And dude, like,
we're gonna have him on one day.
We will have him on. And I gotta say, the conversation that basically made it happen. It was one conversation, and it was maybe 3-4 hours long max.
Yep.
And it was just me explaining the vision, showing him some of our numbers, and that was it. He was just like, "Yeah, I'm in. I'm buying in. I believe in the idea, but I believe in you guys. I think that if I give you this money, you will 10x it very quickly. So let's go." And that was the energy we wanted. And you guys saw, we had investors fly in from BC to Toronto. We had investors meet us in LA when we were filming there. Like, so it was real. And I think that was the cool part for us, where we were like, fuck, oh my God, people do believe in this idea. So even when I'm trying to argue with Ernesto about people will believe in us, trust me, it was like, then we had guys flying out to meet us.
Yeah.
Which was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
It was just a cool experience for us to see that. I think it was cool for you guys to even see that, because then it was like, hey, this engine that I'm, throwing coal into the fire to keep going. Oh, fuck, you got guys coming in who are down to invest. Yeah. Whatever those numbers were, right? It was interesting, but nonetheless, we got the cash injection. We found our partner. And that's a big reason why we're able to literally take this thing from 0 to 100 very quickly.
Well, it takes a fucking army,
Yes.
It really does. And when you see things like MBH TV coming to life and these new shows coming to life, there's a whole squad. Like we just told you, we just brought in another partner who's going to be very key for us moving forward.
Yeah.
We have these 2 gentlemen at the table with us who are going to be very key for us moving forward. We have a whole other bunch of people. Shout out Delphin, shout out Anna, shout out Natasha, shout out Orso, Tony, everyone, to be honest. Like, the names go on, but there's a whole team that's powering this thing, guys. So for us to move forward, you guys, like, for you to move forward in your life and your brand, you need to have a proper team behind you of people who understand the vision and believe in the vision. I think a lot of people have trouble, and I want to ask you guys this because this is perfect. A lot of let's say people in leadership roles, or people who are, let's say, the face of a company or the talent of a company. How are you guys able to buy into our vision? What made you guys believe in us, and what made you guys buy into MBH? Because you guys did, right? Like, for example, like Dean.
You bought in
Dean,
day
you're
one,
a fucking
brother.
Dean, you're a fucking top photographer, videographer out there, and you came in here and you said, "I'll take this pay cut," which was like a fucking pay cut.
Yeah.
Right? I just want to tell people that, because people think it's all easy here. So maybe for you, Dean, like what made you believe in the vision? Because you believed in it, I think, right from the go as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when the podcast was started, it was right in the beginning of COVID. And I think that helped me kind of believe in the vision. And you guys too, you guys were similarly minded, where it's like, fuck this shit, where everybody else wants to stay home and play video games. I was trying to go out and do something new, start something new, figure out a way to keep grinding. I don't want to sit at home and collect government checks like a lot of my colleagues were.
True.
And just you guys having that attitude of like, who gives a fuck if like the world is shutting down? We got to, like, it's not going to be forever. We got to start getting the ball rolling and shit. So yeah, it was obviously a huge pay cut, but I knew that, like, not like I was going to wait for it to pay off, but eventually, like, it was going to go somewhere, and it would be cool to be part of it. So,
and have you ever even done anything like that in your life before, where you like believed in a vision and took a pay cut and put the hours in when it was kind of like a risk, to be honest?
Yeah, for sure. Multiple times. I've started multiple companies that nobody's ever heard of. Probably you guys never even heard of that. I started with people, I started on my own, and it was a pay cut as in $0 fucking dollars, because it was my own shit, and nobody was paying me to sit there for 40 hours a week to design shit on my own after I got home from work back in the days when I had a fucking day job, or even photography. Nobody was paying me in the beginning until I had like 100 shoots under my belt. I was working till like 7, 8 at night, and then immediately going to shoot in the summers right in the neighborhood. I would just figure, I got half an hour until it gets dark. Let me find a model today, do a shoot, and see what I can get from it and make connections and stuff like that. So there's a lot of times in business where you got to start out with like a negative in terms of monetary, but eventually it pays off if it goes well.
And if you, are you like, when you make that kind of risk, when you take that risk, are there like moments that happen in 6 months and 12 months that are like reaffirming that you made the right choice?
Yeah, obviously, like in photography, that happens when you start getting your first paying clients, your first like, holy shit, I've gone from making this much in a day at my day job to making that in like an hour. And then all of a sudden that seems like bullshit money for an hour. And then you're doubling and tripling your rates. Or this podcast, holy shit, this guy came on, or he's got this many followers, he's going to be on the show today. He fucks with it. Like,
was there like one moment in the earlier days in the pod that you were like, oh shit, like these guys can maybe do something?
I don't know. It's
like,
hard Nah, you guys have been fuck ups the whole
Like, was
time.
there like a guest or an episode where you're like, oh shit, like this is like, even if our subs were where it was at,
Yeah.
was there like a moment where it's like, oh shit, like this is like next level?
For sure, but I smoke way too much weed to like scan over it and figure it out right now. But
yeah.
There was definitely, I'm sure, times that I can't remember the specific guest, but I remember feeling like, oh shit, this is going to be a crazy episode, or this is like a good conversation. Even if it wasn't about the guest, it was like this conversation fucking was great.
True.
And it was like 2 hours. It felt like it was 20 minutes, and like everybody loved it. So
True.
that kind of reaffirmed not only like just by having big guests on or big views, but like that the conversations were legit. I listened to probably 100 hours of podcasts a week.
Yeah.
So I understand like which ones are going to hit, which ones are not, which conversations are bullshit, which conversations are authentic, and which ones aren't.
Yeah.
And that obviously kept me here, you know what I mean? So,
Thanks for believing in the kids.
hey, thanks for believing in me.
There you go. We probably got to give both these guys a raise after this.
Holy fuck, I'm done. But take everything I have. Take the computer, take whatever I
Jay,
got.
how about you? Because you had a kind of interesting start working with us. First, you were kind of onboarded with Neighborhood, right? I think you interned for like 3 weeks. That you were supposed to intern for 3 months.
I think you interned for 3 days.
So he was supposed to
I think
intern
it was
for 3 months, and then within I think like a week, we were like, "Oh shit, we need to hire him like right now because we got too much work to do."
We had an instance where one of our like main editors just pretty much dropped off.
Yeah.
And we put this guy on the spot. By the way,
Shout out Bellobrini, by the way.
to give context. Yeah, without Bellobrini,
Without
Jay would never
Bellobrini,
be
there would
here.
be no Jay.
So thanks, Bello. Listen, to give context, this guy came from working a job retail, Bass Pro, baby. Von Mill. Shout out Von
He
Mills.
literally worked there just for the hats. He just wanted free hats.
He was working a retail job, whatever. Had no editing experience, no big production editing experience. Came in, cold DM Ernesto. We gave him the internship within literally like it wasn't even a week of his internship. We just put him on the spot and said, "Hey, dude, our main guy just dropped off. You want to be that guy? Here's all this fucking work. I don't care if you've never done this before. You never used this software. Figure it out." Correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
So
Tell
tell
us
us
more.
how that experience was for you, though.
No, it was jumping into the fire right away, but it was a challenge I welcomed to embrace. And I always say, when you're investing in a company, a lot of the times you're investing in the CEOs. You're investing in the people, and I saw that you guys were ambitious, like-minded people with a vision. So I had the belief in that, but on the flip side, you also had the belief in me, like you just mentioned. Early on, gave me the chance when no one else did. And I saw that, and I always kind of stayed loyal to that. And at that point, I had no choice but to work hard and believe in the vision, because if you're believing in me when I do nothing, I'm going to have to put in 110% for you just because of that. So that was my mindset going on early.
Yeah,
And-
listen, I think like to add on to all of that, one thing that I got to give us credit for, and I think that we've done a good job and we've been able to build a team of people that believe in what we do, is because when we say we're going to do something, we do it.
Yeah.
It's truly that simple. So when we sit down with you guys and we're like, hey, we're going to do this with the podcast. We're going to take it to these levels. We're going to get these types of guests on. This is how we want to start doing production. We're going to start doing live streams. We're going to start doing this. We're going to start doing that. We just did it, you know? And like, if you want people to believe in a vision, you have to tell them what you're going to do and then execute and actually do it. Because if we sat here and said, guys, this is going to be the biggest podcast in the world and we're going to get all these guests on, and then it's just me and Ernesto every fucking day just talking shit and having espressos and smoking dubs on the pod, you guys would be like, bro, this is going nowhere, you know? I think that's like a lesson for anybody that's trying to build a team of people who are going to believe in what they're doing, is like, you not only got to tell the team what you want to do and what you're going to do, and then execute.
Yeah.
I know it sounds easy. It's not, because the execution part's the hard part, but how else could we make you guys believe? And I think that on top of that, we just have a lot of conversations with you boys about like what the future goals are. We keep you in the loop. Like it's not we just blindside you one day with like, hey, this is what's happening today. It's like, no, dude, like we want to start this network. This is how we're going to start it. We actually have you guys in the conversations of how things should work. We ask you because if you guys are going to be, our feet on the ground building this thing out with us, we want your opinion. If you guys are handling production, what's the best way we should do it? If you're handling editing and management of the team, the social team, this and that, Jay, what do you think is the best way we should do it? And that's been, I believe, a big piece of why we're all so aligned in the vision is because everyone understands what's happening. There is complete transparency from A to Z. I believe, at least.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's easier said than done, right? It's easier said than done because we've also spent maybe 5 years building this team.
Of course.
Right? And it's not easy.
Yeah.
As much as it looks like, oh, like look at their team now and look how big their team is, look how talented their team is, look at the superstars on their team. There's been a lot of, people coming in the company, people going out just as fast, right?
Yeah.
And I think it has a lot to do with mindset, right? So don't get discouraged if you're trying to build a team that you're not finding the right people right away. I think the way you need to find those people is to put yourself out there, put your brand out there, and you'll find people that can relate to it and like it. Like Dean said, he met with us, he liked our mindset. Right away, similarity. You have to find people with similarities and a similar mindset to you if you want to build a strong team, right? And I think giving everyone also power within that team is important, right? I think Dean's on his own right now when it comes to all our clients and all our stuff. We just have the trust in him. It's done, right? There's no micromanaging with Dean. There's no micromanaging with Jay. Maybe at the beginning there was, but until someone understands the culture and how you guys work. But empower your team too, right? That's what allows them to buy into the brand, to the business, to the dream, right? Because I know for a fact that when we launch an episode or we see a piece of content come to life with MBH, that these guys are just as proud.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Because it was everyone.
Well, yeah, you also have to think like it's like...
And we've seen companies too. We've seen brands. We've seen media agencies. We've seen shows even. Their team hasn't stayed together for 2 weeks. There's a new guy shooting. There's a new guy editing. New guy doing the social. Well, new host. And it's like, you can't build culture that way, right? So...
It's like you said, the empowerment aspect of it is like... It can be hard as a small business owner, someone or whatever, someone trying to build something from the ground up. Like you always think like how to do it the best. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you gotta put people in the position.
No, but that's a problem already because if you think you know it the best, that's already an ego thing. You're already not a business owner.
No, but listen, you go through that. We went through that in the early days.
But what I'm saying is from now, right? Obviously, we learn.
Now it's too late. You got to learn. I'm saying people in that position in the beginning, at the beginning stages, you're gonna be scared to let someone else make a decision. You're gonna be scared to let someone else put their own twist on something. But you have to at some point, or else you'll never grow. If you're gonna be the guy, the CEO and the founder that does everything in whatever business, you're going to be a one-person business forever, right?
You can't do that.
You got to start trusting people. And listen, sometimes they'll produce amazing work, and sometimes they might fuck up. But that's just what it is. And the fuck-ups just have to be lessons.
Well, when I see a one-man show, I also see a team that has not been together for more than 2-3 weeks.
Well, you usually don't even see a team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You just see a random guy there. Oh, this is my guy now. This is my new assistant now. This is this. When it's like... You need that. You need to build a proper team of people who all believe in the same vision. Because if it was just me and Ant trying to do everything, dude, we would have zero. We would have nothing.
Or we have a fraction of what we have now.
Right? And you have to let go of that ego, right? Am I going to know what the fuck is the best way to produce an episode? No, Dean is. You understand? Am I going to know the best way to edit a reel? No, Jay is. Mm-hmm. So you have to kind of let that go, right? And then that allows us to focus on, hey, make sure this is a good fucking episode we have.
Yeah.
Make sure we get some good guests. Make sure we can focus on what we like. Anyways, that's important. I just wanted to say that because building out a team to take your stuff to the next level will bring everyone to the next level. And I appreciate the whole team. Appreciate you boys. But
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, listen, we don't have to talk anymore. Hey, like that's pretty much it because I think I wanted this episode to just be full send and what's going on in the future. So I think we covered that. Boys, I don't know if you guys want to throw anything in here. Let us know. What What are your thoughts on MBH TV? What do you guys think about it? And yeah, what do you guys have? Like, you guys have any ideas?
No.
Boys? let us know.
No, MBH TV is gonna be game changing, man. I hope you guys are excited for what's to come. Like you said, nobody in Canada doing it.
Nobody.
It's going to be generational, and the amount of talent that will be coming through and potential talent, because you may be the next talent.
True.
You people that are watching.
Facts.
So
It's
just
true.
believe in the vision, believe in yourself, and I think there's no telling what the ceiling is.
If you were ever gonna start like a content series or show, start now.
And then hit
Because
us
we're
up.
watching. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're watching. Deanie.
Yeah, I'm
give him
excited.
give him one piece of Dean before we go here.
One piece of Dean?
Give
I
a
don't
piece
know.
of Dean.
I'm
Come on.
excited about MBH TV. I want to see where the production and all that stuff can go with some money behind it, and see what kind of content can be pushed out. I think it's going to be very interesting to see that. Yeah.
What do you guys like? What do you guys think is like the best content that we do? Like your favorite type? Like, do you guys like the live streams? You guys like, big guests? What is it? What is you guys like?
I would say, yeah, the big guests in some of these cool locations, because it's a different backdrop, it's a different kind of vibe. So, and it brings something different out of you. Because when you guys are talking to these big guests, you guys really got to lock in and really bring something out of you that doesn't come when it's a more smaller guest, right?
True.
So it's an exciting dynamic to see, and I think the fans like to see it too.
Yeah, I think, well, for me, the favorite type of content is just the host episodes, talking shit.
What we're doing right now.
Going
Yeah,
crazy,
These are so
Alex
fun.
Jones. Yeah, these are fun. Just
I
talking about
said
the
Alex
news.
Jones.
Just going full Alex Jones on everything. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be exciting. I would say that these are my favorite types of episodes, and doing them live in the future would be nice too. Something
Yeah.
like that would be very fun.
Yeah, a live event here in the city, everyone to come through would
Yeah.
be sick.
It'll be hard. It'll be
Get all
hard.
of Vaughn, all 10 people in Vaughn down here.
We're getting an airport, guys.
Guys, look out for the launch next few weeks. Go follow at MBH TV on Instagram. That's gonna be where all the fun happens.
And yeah, listen, if you think that you got some type of talent and you think that you can bring value to the network with your own show, your own series,
Yeah.
we're open to anything. But don't just DM us and be like, hey bro, trust me, I'm the next best guy, bro. It's like, you better come and show us something.
We
So,
might as well just do like a Toronto's Got Talent in here, no? Quick.
yeah, we might. We might have to bring that
An
to
audition like series.
an audition.
like a
Yeah.
YouTube,
No,
like,
we
series,
will. We
yeah.
will. We'll bring that to
Guys,
life.
comment. Let us know everything that we're saying. Let us know what you guys think about it. That's
Yeah.
it. I want to know what you guys think.
But on that note, guys, if you made it this far, we love you. Thank you. Leave a comment if we made it this far. I'm just curious. And yeah, stay tuned. Big shit coming.
Big year ahead for
If you're
the
not
boys.
subscribed, hit the subscribe button, like this video, leave a comment, let us know what you think about everything we said. And yeah, let's fucking get it. Dean?
Motherfucking out.